Namaskar everyone, I hope you all are doing well and you all are practicing by watching my videos. So I would like to give today's tutorial is on flying pigeon pose or Ek Baad Galavasana. So this was a suggested video by one of my viewers. He suggested me to make this tutorial. So I would like to make this tutorial, but I would also let you know that how and what is important while practicing flying pigeon pose. Yes, first step is your pigeon pose should be very clear. Your foundation should be clear so that you can fly and you can hold yourself. Yes, so pigeon pose means rajkapotasana, which I have already made it earlier. You can check. So this is a pigeon pose which I am saying. So this pose should be very clear, as you can see my posture. So first you need to practice this every day. Then the second thing what you need to be clear is you have to be clear with the chaturang dandasana. So how we do plank? So this is plank, right? With the plank you move down in chaturang dandasana. So this is chaturang dandasana. So these two foundations should be very clear because it's important while doing this posture, you need to hold your body, yes. But sometimes there are chances that people cannot or may not be able to hold in this posture for a long period of time. It's because of their foundation is not clear. Maybe their hip is not yet open, because while doing this pose, your hip should be open nicely and there's a lot of core strength and the shoulder strength, right? And the alignment of the arms should be always 90° perpendicular. When I will do it, you will understand. But in case if you are done with the foundation and you're not still able to do it, then I have two things to tell you. First suggestion is with the blocks. Yeah, you can take the blocks and then use this posture, or use a prop to hold your body. Or the second is with the wall. How? I will tell you. So let's get started. Namaskar, welcome to my channel, and let's begin with the flying pigeon pose. What you need to do is you have to stand on your mat, okay? Stand on your mat and then fold your knees, slightly fold your knees. You place your right foot. So you have to practice with both the sides, yes? You place your right ankle on top of your thigh. Now as you can check in my posture, my knee and ankle is in line. This hip is open. Sometimes people have this blocked hip. Then you have to work on the rajkapotasana more. So when this is clear, then you bend forward. Keep moving until you don't touch your chest to your calf. And then when you check from here that my ankle, check this, my ankle is flexed and my toe fingers are nicely entangled on my armpits area. So I should not keep it this way. There is no gap. So no gap, and keep it entangled to your armpits. The other leg, which you will see, my knee is on top of my other arm. And then I'll bend and move my hand to 90° angle, and then I try to lift my legs up. This need a lot of strength. So now how you should do it with the blocks, and also other side you should do it, yes? So I think it's clear, right? See, I'll be also showing you like this. So your foot is entangled on this armpit. This knee or the shin bone is on this side of your armpit. So there is no gap. And your fingers are wide and open. And we try lifting. And try to move your head a little down so that you can bear the weight of your body. So it is really very strengthful and a very tough asana, but it is really helpful for the people who are already clear with the base. Now with the blocks, how? These are the blocks where you will place it like this in the rectangle shape, keeping some space. So your shoulder will be placed here to hold your body. Sometimes it collapses. I will tell you how. People do it this much
and then they lift here and they're not able to push their legs back. Because if you check my posture, my head is up and my hip is down, but it has to be vice versa. The head part should be down so that you can uplift your lower part of the body, right? So let's see. Again, see this, going down, check my arms are 90-degree angle and I lift my legs up. Yeah. And I am a flying pigeon. So with the blocks I was telling you, keep it here. Both the palms you will place it just behind your blocks. Again, you have to stand. There are two ways. Either you can go from the Shirshasana and practice, or you can do it directly. So, breathe in. See my arms. I will rest my shoulders so I can lift my leg higher, as you can see. Yeah. So, with the blocks, it gives you more upliftment. Yeah. Now with the other side. Also, I will show you, as I said, with the blocks, and second thing with the wall. So how? Can check. First of all, I'll use the blocks here, or if you don't have blocks, it's fine. I need to measure my leg position. As you can see, my leg position is one leg distance, because everybody's height and it matters. Yeah. So you need to check that how much length I needed. Then I will stand on top of my mat as per my measurement. Then I fold my right or my left leg, whichever leg, but make sure you practice with both the sides. Yes, I just finished with the right, now I'll take my left. So fold your knee, again check that this hip is open. You bend forward, second step, resting your chest on your calf. Third step, entangle your toes and your shin bone on your armpits. Then we try to fold our arms in such a way. I think I should need to go back a little. Yeah, every time the adjustments will be different. And then when I open my leg, now you can check from the side. See, my foot is there on the wall and my arms are 90-degree angle. And then when you feel like, come back. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this short or small tutorial on flying pigeon pose or 8-path Galavasana. You can use props wherever needed and practice. Let me know in the comment section, did you find this useful? Till then, I'll see you in my next video. Namaste, stay blessed.